Let's go across now quickly to Tatiana Kukhareva. She's the Deputy Head of Sputnik News, joining me now from Moscow. Now, remember, Tatiana, we've been talking about how there are claims and counterclaims coming in, but this is Russia officially releasing a video. It appears to be a drone video. Clearly hair-raising in the sense that it's a Ukrainian rocket, as it appears, attacking and that there is a military ops that is on of the Ukrainian military. And from a shopping mall, according to Russia, the drone tracks, targets and destroys. A bird's eye view. So what do you think is happening here at this point, Tatiana? Tatiana, can you hear my voice? All right, we'll just try and get that audio link back again with Tatiana. Remember, she is the Deputy Head of the Sputnik News in Moscow, and she's been telling us and giving us update for the constant of all these days from how Russia has been reacting to this. But as we've been showing you the visuals on your screen, drone videos and primarily the manner in which, according to them, the Ukrainian rocket and the Ukrainian military ops. Tatiana, if you can now hear me. And if yes. So, Tatiana, my question to you was, we were talking about the claims and counterclaims by Russia, but this time it appears it's a drone video released by Russia stating that this is attacking, this is the military of Ukraine. They're using this rocket, and how Russia has managed to track and also importantly then target and destroy. What do you think is happening here? Why do you think primarily, yes, Russia has decided to release such videos? So while we try and get that audio back on, remember it's the 29th day of relentless Russian attacks on Ukraine. Russia continues to up the offensive against Ukraine. It's a bloodbath that's taking place on the streets of Ukraine. The city of Mariupol, for example, facing devastation. Some parts of the city turning into ghost towns after multiple non-stop shellings have reduced buildings about a month ago to rubble and debris now. A massive explosion was reported from Ukrainian port Berdyansk. Black smoke engulfed the port. According to reports coming in, even a warehouse with ammunition and fuel was destroyed. Reports are suggesting that a Russian ship sank and 2 others were on fire while trying to escape. So different images coming in. This one, as you can see, again, are several drone videos, bird's eye view that's coming in. And Tatiana now joins me. Tatiana Kukhareva is, I repeat, the Deputy Head of the Sputnik News, joining me from Moscow. If you can hear me now, Tatiana, is my voice clear to you? Yes. Tatiana, I'm Pooja Shali here from the India Today newsroom. Can you hear me? All right, there seems to be some audio connection issues there. Remember, we'll try and get that connected. But I just want you to take a look at this video. Absolutely hair-raising and released by Russia. So it is a verified video. It has come that we are telecasting for you. According to them, this is primarily a drone footage, a drone video, which means that it is a Ukrainian rocket. It is the Ukrainian military operations. And from a shopping mall, the Russian drone tracks, targets and destroys. So it's a Russian drone tracks, targets and destroyed and released by Russia. So remember, this is also an info war that is taking place. Both Russia and Ukraine are also putting forth and uploading videos. They are claiming while Ukraine is being resistant, Russia is saying they are also ensuring why they need it and are not targeting civilian areas, but also military targets. An absolutely significant video that's coming in here, and the manner in which the targets and attacks are taking place in Ukraine right now. So is this possible? If I go across to Tatiana again and try to see if that link has been established. Tatiana, apologies for the delay, and I hope you can hear me now. Do you think Russia could use these drone videos to escalate the invasion? What sort of these drone videos are? Because it appears it's a Russian drone that tracks, targets and destroys. So it is a big mission that's coming in, and we've been talking about the drones that are also being used to target. Yes, Tatiana, over to you, please.
I wish I could see the videos that you're showing. That's, you know, so it kind of, you know, I'm kind of talking in the blind here because
I will rephrase my question for you then, Tatiana, for your understanding.
Yes.
That because we've been in the past also seeing how drones, whether it's the kamikaze drones or others, that are literally a drone suicide mission that are being used, so that both by Ukraine and Russia. This appears, as we are talking about, is Russia releasing this drone video and saying that we were able to, the Russian drone able to track, target and destroy. How do you think the drones are now being used with 29 days of right now the war that is on in Ukraine? Tatiana.
Well, there are several types of drones that have been used in this operation on both sides, because you know that Ukraine had a shipment of drones delivered. We're talking about the Turkish drones. They're quite deadly, actually. You know, it's a larger debate, I think, you know, when drones are involved, because obviously it kind of makes the side that's using the drone gain in terms of there's no loss of life on its side. So it's not a plane that you can down, and if you down a drone, then the pilot is obviously unharmed. There have been videos. They've released them not just this week. That we've seen a lot of videos of drones. I think it's a very nice. It also gives a nice kind of perspective, because when it's a drone involved, you always see what it's hitting. So you can see that those are military targets. And when it comes to the drone videos that were coming out of the Russian Defense Ministry, I think that's what we're talking about here. You know, you can always see what they're actually hitting and where the target is, and again, that those are not civilian targets. And I think that's quite important in terms of, you know, trying to counter that that war that you mentioned.
Tatiana, I do have to ask you here. Remember, you've been in the past few days also saying that Ukraine appears to be using civilian buildings to launch targets that you know, then of course face retaliation, and then they are claiming civilian buildings and civilians are being attacked. Do you think this could be a part of it? Do you think this is, you know, how do you see then these targets that are being done, according to Russia releasing videos saying this happened from a shopping mall? According to them, the Ukrainian military operation from a shopping mall that the Russian drone targeted and tracked.
No, of course, but look, I mean, it takes 5 minutes a search on the internet. Unfortunately, you know, I think we even we published a video yesterday on our Telegram feed that, you know, the Ukrainian fighters are shooting TikTok videos inside schools with, you know, their rocket launchers, which is, you know, it would be funny if it weren't so tragic. And, you know, they're all over the internet, because when you give out weapons to not just the regular army, but literally to anyone who would take them, that's exactly what happens. And they're very proud of them as well, you know. So and the same goes for the, you know, even with that mall. The same day that it was hit, there was 1 million photos on the Ukrainian internet, not our internet, you know, when you see the BTRs, you know, the armored vehicles standing under the roof, and you see that there's a firing point in there. So, you know, unfortunately, again, that's the kind of the double-sided affair when it comes to social networks, because when you use them, you can, you know, in order to kind of try to portray the other side in a bad way, you have to understand that, you know, if you don't control those same armed forces, this is what happens. They literally post videos posing next to firing, you know, to firepower, to rocket launchers inside civilian buildings, and it's, you know, it's very obvious. And I mean, Obviously, they can blame us, but I mean, nobody in their right
Tatiana,
mind
because you're based in Russia, I have to ask you here that, apart from this, remember there are back-to-back international summits taking place, the G7, the European Union Summit. All eyes will now be on US President Joe Biden. What is the expectation in Russia now? And with these videos, do you think Russia may actually escalate the attacks and the invasion that's taking place? How do you see, on one side, the international summits are on, and then how are the reaction and expectation in Russia?
I don't think there's any expectation in Russia in regards to international summits, because we've, it's been a month now. The position of our Western partners, so to speak, it's very clear. I mean, today is not just 1 month since the beginning of the Russian special operation. It's also an anniversary of certain events in Yugoslavia, if you remember that. And I mean, we went through the web today. There are videos of Joe Biden back in the day saying that, let me actually quote him. I will continue with every fiber in my being to keep America involved with troops that can shoot and kill to protect the rights of Albanians. That was a video when he was a senator back then, and today his position is very clear. The only country that is allowed by US standards and national interest and national security interest is America. They can bomb whoever, wherever they want, and they can do that with no repercussions. But dare another state have an actual national security interest and a national security threat at our doorstep? Remember, it's not us having biolabs in Ukraine, it's the Americans. So why would you go so far to have a biolab? I mean, you can have them in America. If it's not a threat to Russia, then why is this there?
Are you stating here, Tatiana, that this is a national security issue for Russia, and you're saying that the Western countries, and specifically the United States of America, appear and are showing hypocrisy at this point vis-a-vis Ukraine and Russia?
Of course they are. They have been showing hypocrisy for a month now. Because, again, American senators, American congresswomen, they themselves have confirmed they had biolabs in Ukraine, that they're very wary that, God forbid, those labs could fall into Russian hands. They have been sending an immense amount of military power into Ukraine. Can you call it a peaceful nation? Can you not say that this is a threat on our doorstep, just outside our borders? And they've been killing people outside our borders as well.
At this point, of course, the West, and specifically the US and Europe, are announcing strict sanctions against Russia, primarily because they feel that this national security issue is bombing another country. And at this point, they didn't even have an official NATO membership, and that is why they're calling it out. So how do you think Russia is going to defend it? It's been 29 days. What appeared to be about a week, perhaps, of escalation has gone about a month now. Till when can it go on? Because then questions will be asked to Russia as well, Tatiana.
I don't think Russia needs to defend anything at this point. I mean, we have our own, again, national security interests. Yeah, I'm sure you understand that. Just as India has its national security interests, just as China has its national security interests. And this is about a big and strong country protecting its security interests at all cost. And also, mind you, doing what no NATO member has ever done, protecting the civilian population inside that same country that was a threat to our national security interests, whose government, not the country obviously, but the government that has been kind of bringing up those nationalist formations, those Nazi battalions that are right now keeping civilian population in Mariupol as human shields, which is why this operation is taking just that amount of time. Again, it's very much on track. Nobody thought it would be over in a couple of days, because that's what the US does. They just come, they bomb it to the ground, and then it's over in a couple of days. We're not doing that. Nobody wanted to do that.
Tatiana,
Because
also
this
here, yes, West is
country.
claiming, like you were talking about the biolabs and the chemical labs, according to the West, they are claiming that the Russia has a higher chance of misusing these bio and chemical labs. And then what do you say to that? Because that's also been a statement that's come from US, yeah.
I'm merely asking a question. Why are those biolabs in Ukraine? You would travel. I mean, it's like, I don't even know what to compare it to. I mean, it's like if we put biolabs in Mexico or missiles in Cuba. Okay. Do you think the US would be comfortable with that? Do you think they would not consider that to be a threat to their national security? I don't think so. That is the problem, again, with the United States of America. They think that they're exceptional. This is one nation that can do whatever it wants and dictate its terms to every single state in the whole world.
All right, important perspective there, Tatiana, by you. So Russia is saying that it's their national security issue. While remember, today is a big day, G7 European Union meetings, and West is one by one has been announcing sanctions against Russia, and it's 29 days already of invasion in Ukraine. Tatiana, thank you so much for your time, and I'll come back to you in just a short while. Tatiana Kukhareva from Moscow.